All right. Welcome to the Astro Week. All right. What's happening in the cosmos this week? What do you think, huh? What astrological events are taking place? And how might these events influence our lives? I'm Shane. This is daily-astrocat.com, and this is your Astro Week. We're looking at the trends for this week, the Astro trends, as the thumbnail says, right? And if you stay tuned towards the end of this particular presentation, we're going to tell you some things that might be under the radar just a little bit that you're really not going to know just from what we're saying here. There's some hidden astrology there. And we're going to tell you how to take charge of this Astro Week. So let's get started, okay? This week's celestial lineup, we're looking at a couple of things, right? We're looking at the full moon in Gemini. We're looking at Mercury Direct. This is going to happen on Sunday, right? We're also looking at the sun square Neptune. We're looking at Venus trine Jupiter, and the sun is going to enter Capricorn. Let's take and break all of these things down a little bit. We're going to actually go over here and present what we got on our screen here. So let me take a second to do that. Here we go. Here's our week's biggest impacts for December 15th through, I believe, the 21st. And here we go. So let's talk about this. We're going to have our full moon in Gemini. That was the first thing that we listed, right? Full moon in Gemini. Gemini is a mutable air sign. And the full moon in Gemini expresses the same things that Gemini tends to express, but it expresses it on our moods and how we're dealing with things, right? So we've got the full moon in Gemini. It's communication, versatility, and adaptability. Yeah, right? We could use a little bit of that, right? We could use a little bit of that crazy energy. Some people say that they're just about bipolar because it's the twins, right? There's two personalities in one person. Yeah, there's some folks that feel that way. And here's what the chart looks like for that. Now, the full moon happened to occur at just about 4 in the morning, okay? The exact time is blocked out by my little screen sharing thing up there. So we were talking about right around 4, I believe it was 4:09 maybe, somewhere around there. Anyway, actually, I have it right here. It is 4:02. Okay, so 4:02 in the morning is when this actually happened. And we've got a couple things going on here. We've got the moon conjunct Jupiter. That was a good thing, right? We've got the sun opposite the moon and Jupiter. Expansion, right? Expansion, expansion, expansion. We've got that expansion going both ways. Both mutable signs, both there. Saturn's there going, nope, 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 nope. Wait. We've got Neptune also in Pisces. Not waiting, but we're doing some other things. We're operating on different levels. We got some spiritual things that are going on that perhaps we're taking a look at. You can see where that sun and Neptune and Moon are all in that relationship that's called a T-square. So we've got the T-square right here, and we've got the hypotenuse for the T-square being the opposition between the Moon and the Sun. Opposite that, we have this empty space in Virgo. Keep that empty space in mind because that figured very importantly. It figures importantly towards the end of this. This is a creative start, right? This is a creative jump start. It's a full moon. Full moons are supposed to be about culminations. This feels more like a beginning, like almost like a new moon, a creative type of just a blast. And that is because of our next slide here, which is Mercury going direct. Mercury stationing direct, it's going to intensify this utilization of personal tech items, like this phone here, right? Wherever my phone went, don't know, probably in my back pocket. Yeah, look at props, like the phone there. It fosters clearer ideas and it improves communication, except when you're looking for your phone, obviously. But you can see right here, Mercury goes direct, and went direct about 15:56. That's 3:56. That's right in the afternoon, right before 4 in the afternoon on Sunday. And when we did that, we had a couple of different things that I wanted to mention here, because we have Mars that's actually trine with Mercury, that's actually trine with the North Node, which is it's a grand trine, right? That is a grand trine. Now, what are we looking at when we have a grand trine? Well, when we have a grand trine looking like that, what we got going on is we've got this ease of where we're headed and where we think we're headed and what we're doing. So we're storing all this stuff away. We're actually like those little squirrels out there gathering their stuff and storing it away for the time to come, right? This is what this means karmically for us, okay? Okay, what we desire, what we really want, Dark Moon Lilith, that's this particular one right here. We've got that grand trine that we mentioned in there. all with Mercury going direct. This functions much differently. This grand trine will function much differently as Mercury starts moving forward, but Mars is still retrograde. So now we're not thinking about just our communication and our actions. We're going back and we're going to review our actions that we used to communicate all the way back to when Mars was in Cancer. Mars is going to back into Cancer, and it's not going to come out of there probably until about late April, right? So this is what we're really looking at. This is where we're headed with this, and we're headed towards that place of destiny. So with that being said, let's just keep on moving right along here. And now the moon's going to enter Cancer, and this is going to be 3 days of peak creativity. This is where we're going to really just be able to take this stuff and go. Now, normally they say, oh, there's a shadow period of Mercury. Nonsense. We've been holding on to it for too long, right? Let it go. We have some other things that are working with us. There's other things that are coming to the forefront. There's some technology things. There's personal technology, like this guy right here. There's computer technology that we're able to utilize to be able to do this much better. And our understanding of these things is going to increase. I won't say exponentially because that's cliche, but we've already increased it. We're doing the learning. The moon in the sun in Sagittarius actually facilitates this kind of learning, as does Jupiter in Gemini. So we've got all of these things going on. Now, the next thing we want to pay attention to is the sun square Neptune. It's a little cautionary tale, right? Ease up on your holiday cheer. Pay attention to your dreams and spiritual matters. They beckon, but you want to try not to ruin them. You want to try not to say that that's beyond you or that's not quite where you're headed. You need to embrace what it is that you do, okay? I've had to do that. I have to embrace the fact that, I may be this nuts and bolts computery kind of guy, this nerdy person that really likes history and really likes astronomy and really likes a lot of different music, right? Really likes to produce music and do music. But you're also an astrologer, Jane. You got to embrace that. You have to embrace that because going forward, that's what we're doing. We're doing astrology. I've been doing this for years now, right? It just comes natural to me. I think about these things. I look at the charts. I do the charts. I make my presentations. I do it daily. So that way, I just know that I know this stuff, right? And it speaks to me. You can never possibly know everything there is to know about astrology because there's always something new. Even in your own chart, it's been with you your whole life, and you just look at it, and all of a sudden, one day you're looking at it, and you're like, oh, I never noticed that before. Or this tends to do this. Or you start to get into some more advanced techniques, and you just are like, oh, okay, this is clarity, right? It's constantly evolving and growing, and that's the beauty of modern Western astrology because it grows with you. That's what we practice here. That's what we present. We present modern Western astrology, contemporary astrology with updated archetypes. Now, this is what the Sun square Neptune is going to look like, just so you can see it on the chart. You can see where the line is there. They're 90 degrees apart. That's what a square is. So as we're looking at this square, we can still see that we got the 120-degree grand trine right there that's involving the north node. Now, Neptune's a little too far out for it to involve Neptune, although Neptune's getting close, right? And we do have these things starting to all come together. Venus trine Jupiter. Okay, this is a big aspect. The two major benefics, that's what they're called. The ancients viewed these planets as the most beneficial. The least beneficial, you guessed it, Mars and Saturn, right? But these two are supposed to be the most beneficial, all right? Jupiter, expansion, growth, good luck, good fortune, good luck, learning, institutions. Venus, relationships, creativity, the arts, fine living, fine dining, Taurusy things, Libra things, right? That love of balance, that love of everything. That's what we're talking about. Now, these ones here, our creative projects, they're going to get bigger. It's who and what we attract to us, right? Our crowds, our paramours, our lovers, our spouses, our folks in our lives, right? This is what we attract to us, and we're going to attract bigger and better. Jupiter in Gemini is just that grand scattered energy, right? That it's got ideas, and all the ideas are growing, and we've got this going on and that going on. Venus in Aquarius, is into the innovative, is into the eccentric, is into the quirky, okay? We're going to be getting into that more too. And here we see them. We see them both together here in this chart. This is on the 19th. So this is the 19th, and it looks like it's about, 9/11 at night. 9/11. So that's what we're looking at with these guys. And as you can see, the moon has already progressed from beyond where she was at in Gemini, and she's all the way in Leo right now. She's already passed Mars. She passed by Mars. She was conjunct with Mars, and that would cause us to have these ideas all over again, right? The grand ideas, all of that. This is how this chart progresses. So anyway, the last thing we want to talk about, the last event that we mentioned on our list of things going down, was the sun entering Capricorn. It's the solstice. It's Yule, right? This gives form and functionality to these different ideas that we've been floating about. This is a beginning with a beginning. This is a beginning within a beginning leading up to the black moon in Capricorn, which is another beginning. All the mutable ideas we had early in the week, they're ready to go, okay? So it should be a culmination, but the full moon in Gemini was a beginning, right? The sun was at that galactic center, right? Just pushing that energy, pushing it through. We're bringing all of the things to us. Now we're ready to start pushing them out, right? We were going to leave that galactic center. We're going to enter Capricorn. It may be winter, but remember, Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs are initiators. Whatever we initiate in this phase is going to have large ramifications for the rest of the year for us, okay? This is really going to set us up for 2025 in an excellent way personally. And there we have our sun entering on the 21st. Oh, I'd say about 4 in the morning again. I think it's 4:01 to tell you the truth. So you'll find all these lunar things and stuff like that all start to coincide time-wise, and it kind of just compresses the time down. So we can see that the sun right there is in a nice aspect with nothing. Okay, it only has an aspect with the MC, which we're not really concerned about because we don't pay attention to the clock faces, because what we're talking about is we're just talking about the planets and their influences on each other. We're not really talking about trying to figure out where the houses are, because it's going to be different for whatever time zone you're in. I happen to live on the East Coast of the United States. That's where that's where these charts are set. But we're going to start getting into more of that in a couple future videos, okay? But what we want to really talk about now is that how we stopped doing this and we stopped sharing, and now we're going to go back and look. Let's sum this up, because I did tell you that we would tell you a couple things that would pertain to you particularly. So let's do this, okay? So what we're talking about. What does these things that I just listed have to do on, say, like relationships? Well, for relationships, think about this. The full moon in Gemini, it sparks a natural curiosity in exactly what we've been doing all alone, right? So your spouse or your partner, you've been working, you've been going, both working in different directions, right? Now we kind of get a little bit of a curiosity as to, hey, we can kind of talk about this stuff now. What do you think? What's happening? What's going on? What is it you've been doing that we want to talk about? And then any communication issues that you may have had during the last couple of weeks, the last 3 weeks, they can start to resolve because Mercury's direct. We're no longer speaking in circles. We are actually able to communicate with each other and just to be able to tell each other what we're experiencing, how we're experiencing it, and clarifying it in a way that reduces the amount of conflict that you would go into, say, like a conversation of, hey, don't do that, that's bothering me. No, that's bothering me because it's causing me not to be able to focus because it's straining other issues. Yes, that's exactly what it is. What does Mars and Leo have to do with it? Well, we've got Mars and Leo that's kind of backing up, and it was Mars and Leo is like that thing that's right there. It's one of those underground things. It's not quite one of my underground things. It's part of one of my underground things. However, it's transformed us into lone wolves, right? Venus and Aquarius pulling apart from Pluto, that was mitigating kind of that Mars-Pluto tendency to cause strange things to happen. We've seen a lot of changes rapidly. These drones that are floating around, right? Somebody told you the week before Thanksgiving that objects in the night sky that weren't UFOs. That was the title of one of my shorts. Yeah. Long before it was, about a week before it started to become like top of the headlines, right? Or a week and a half before, top of the headlines. That was 3 weeks ago, did that. All right? So we've got Mars, and it suggests, look, Venus in Aquarius and Jupiter, the Jupiter trine, look, more outreach is not only possible, but it's also helpful. And Venus and Jupiter also stress the viability of some eclectic romantic pairings, or romantical, as the cats would say back in the day. Those romantical pairings, because Venus in Aquarius is the eclectic, it is the odd, it is the unusual. That's going to appeal to us because that's what we're attracting to us. Remember, Venus is an attractor. The odd will be more appealing, right? Lucky me. Strange is suddenly in vogue. Oh, yeah. All right. So what about our career and finances, right? Well, Mercury retrograde caused some delays in projects or communications. There were definitely snafus at work, right? Those go away, right? Mercury Direct, that pushes that out. That pushes that away. Now we're able to approach these things in a better state, right? We're able to approach our projects, our side hustles, our everything, creativity, all will become much easier now that Mercury is direct. Mercury retrograde, now we're free to spend money. That's if you have any money to spend after Christmas, right? Or after the holidays. The full moon in Gemini is definitely a boost in the creativity department, okay? Yeah, just listen to everything I wrote about it. Ideas will flow out of this, not just today, but it's going to last all week long. That's what this week is about, right? Creative surge. It's going to take us up to the surge of implementation. So is that our key word for the week? Is it the creative surge? Is it surge or is it creativity? I think it might be the surge because that doesn't happen until very late into the week, right? Venus trine Jupiter is monetary expansion because Jupiter is in Gemini, okay? Gemini is definitely going to it's going to attract something to us, right? If we are in the business of communication or whatever we're doing relies upon that, yes, that's going to expand. That's going to do what it needs to do. That's some monetary expansion. It also has to do with ideas, some investing, right? Capricorn would be a better place for it, but think about it. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Venus in Aquarius is bringing that innovative streak, maybe decentralized finance, maybe what we're doing as far as side hustles having to do with technology, inventions, things like that, and bringing it to Taurus. And we have Uranus in Taurus with the surprise going, wah! You could see something go, wah! You just don't know. The sun entering Capricorn, that's where we stop. That's where we just go, hold on. Stop spending. The long winter's here. We have to work to squirrel away our stuff. But we're working towards consolidating debt. We're becoming tight-fisted, right? We're doing practical steps on the ideas that we just had, practical steps on our finances, practical steps on the things in our life that need to be brought back, curtailed, and brought within patiently moving forward to make sure that our ideas will yield future rewards. This only works if you do the work. All right. Now, what's under the radar, right? What is it that I didn't really address here? Well, I'm thinking maybe the Pluto-Mars war dance. The Pluto-Mars has just been kind of going. We've seen some events, some very strange events, disturbing events, things that are happening, the drones all over the place. That's more like Pluto in Aquarius, right? We've just got drones popping up all over the place. Is there a military use? Is there a military source of those? I don't know. Most likely, yes, but we just don't know. It was being controlled by Venus, but now as Venus is pulled away, it just explodes into the news, right? It's just exploding. Now, hopefully nothing else really explodes. Maybe we can curtail those things. There are some aspects of it that we really need to try to keep under wraps. That's a bigger question. That doesn't involve us. What really involves us is just being able to use technology and be able to leverage our own offerings with that kind of technology, like those drones, right? Now, Jupiter conjunct the moon during the lunastice. That was another thing that was really missing, right? The lunastice was the northernmost approach of the moon And we're not going to see that again for another 18.6 years. Now, that's special, right? That meant something to the Bronze Age technology. Maybe we just reached a cycle and now we're starting another cycle. Or maybe that was the culmination of a cycle and we're going back. All right, so the cycle culminated with that northernmost approach. Boom, now we're going to start drifting back. Okay, we go back and then we're going to go back up again. So we're going to up, down, the seesaw, right? Seesaw, up, down, up, down. Who knows if it's up or down? The nodes of the moon move backwards, right? We're going to be starting a new lunar cycle when the nodes enter Pisces. So we think about this. I think there's an emphasis on the growth and a new beginning, only because the culmination of the cycle starts another cycle, right? We start beginning, even if it's going back down to the south, right? Maybe we don't want to go north. Who knows? All right. And the unspoken role of the empty sign of Virgo is the last thing I want to talk about, because that was very interesting. Once the moon enters Virgo, we're going to see what's going to be happening. Sign of Virgo is where we can practically act to counterbalance whatever it is that Saturn is trying to get us to hold back on, to pull into, trying to draw us out into different directions. We want to make sure that what we're doing is we are honoring that by including it into what it is that we do. All right. So now with that being said, take charge of your Astro Week. This is what you can do. You can use these astrological information, use all of this to your advantage by being mindful of potential challenges and opportunities. Take what I said, apply it to your life. You'd be surprised. It really does tend to happen. It may not happen on the day that I say it happens, like if you listen to Daily Astrocat, but within a day or two, you'll find that those energies will come along, it will come into play. Embrace the energy of the week and manifest your desires and create a positive experience, right? We give you numbers. We give you things. We give you the numbers of the day. That's what works. And remember, the astrological trends, they're not always set in stone. It offers guidance. It's suggestions. It's nuances. There's energies out there, and it's up to you to catch the wave, right? Every wave that when you go to the beach, it's not rideable. You can't surf on it, but every once in a while you catch that wave, and it's unlike any other wave, right? Same thing with anything you create. Same thing with anything you do, sing, all that stuff. You hit that moment and you hit that stride and you just go, oh, okay. Now, you're better off to know what states and what moods and what frames of mind you are when you create these things, right? When you're able to create these things. And that's what this astrology is really all about. It's about that state of mind. It's about that state of being. It's about tapping into the flow and incorporating your own flow into that natural flow that's all around us. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for stopping by. Please do hit the daily and let me know if this works for you, okay? Put comments down below. Leave comments down below so far as, did this work? Do you want to see more charts? Do you want to see less charts? Do you want me to just, whatever we're discussing here, is there anything that we can do to discuss anything better? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Have a happy Astro Week. Happy astrocatting. Thank you.